Welcome to Questiqa Politica, where power, policies, and people collide. This week, a new trade agreement between United States and Japan has made waves, not just in Asia, but across the globe. It is not just another bureaucratic shuffle of tariffs and commodities. It is a geopolitical maneuver that tells us everything about where the world economy might be headed and who gets left behind. In a surprising announcement from Tokyo, President Donald Trump and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida revealed a revised trade pact. Under this agreement, US goods entering Japan will now face a 15% tariff, which is significantly lower than the previously threatened 25%. In exchange, Japan gains expanded access to US markets, particularly in agriculture, automobiles, and high-end tech. Perhaps the most eye-catching detail is Japan's commitment to invest a whopping $500 billion into American infrastructure and clean energy over the next 5 years. On the surface, it sounds like a standard win-win, with better trade terms, more investment, and friendlier relations. But make no mistake, this is more than a spreadsheet shuffle. This is economic diplomacy in action, where supply chains are becoming chess pieces and tariffs are just another form of soft power. And it's not just Japan. Similar trade frameworks are being floated with Indonesia and the Philippines, showing a pattern. Washington is courting Asia hard and with a purpose. So now the question arises, why are these moves being made now? What is the urgency, and why is this urgency? The answer to that could be because the Indo-Pacific is the new front line of global influence. As China's Belt and Road Initiative faces growing criticism and resistance, the United States is stepping in, not just militarily or diplomatically, but economically. This deal, in many ways, is a blueprint for a China alternative coalition. One where trusted democracies align their trade, infrastructure, and investment strategies to hedge against Beijing's rise. But while the US and Japan were smiling for the cameras, not everyone was thrilled. The European Union, notably absent from this pivot, has expressed discontent. European Union officials criticized the deal as a move towards selective globalization, warning that such exclusive trade blocs could destabilize the already fragile global economy. Meaning, Europe feels completely snubbed. Brussels fears that Washington is building parallel trade empires, leaving traditional allies to fend for themselves. This could reignite economic tensions that had only just begun to cool after years of tariff wars. Some analysts even predict that the EU may respond with its own tariffs or policy shifts, triggering a kind of economic fragmentation that could spell trouble for multilateralism as we know it. So, what does all this mean for the rest of the world? It signals a major turning point. The age of blanket globalization may be giving way to a new era of economic alliances based on strategic trust rather than open competition. Trade deals will be driven less by price and more by politics. Nations will increasingly be asked to choose sides, not just in conflict but in commerce. For rising powers like India, for emerging economies of Africa, and for Latin America, this shift offers both opportunities and warnings. Play your diplomacy right and you're in the club. Misstep and you're out of the supply chain. As the link dries on the US Japan agreement, we are left asking, is this the dawn of a new economic Cold War, or simply a realistic evolution of how global trade works in a divided world? Time will tell. But what's clear is this: the world map isn't being redrawn with borders anymore. It's being redrawn with pipelines, tariffs, and trade routes. This is Dhruvi, and you have been listening to Questiqa Politica. Until next time, stay curious, stay questioning, because geopolitics never sleeps.